8 August 2016. We're going to make a worm casting extract right now. We're going to do it kind of quick, kind of fast. It's real easy to do, so let's get started. What I do is I have my worm castings in my hand. I got a bucket here. I throw them in. I got them down there. I add my water. Now I only need one more thing. I need air. So this is a aquarium air pump. It's a top fin, and it's actually a top fin air 8000 air pump. And it provides air for these air stones. I've got two of them here. And they look like this, and they provide little tiny air bubbles. So what's real important to remember when you're using one of these air pumps is you always want to make sure that the air pump is higher than the bucket or the container or the barrel or the trash can that you're putting the air stones into, because if the electricity goes out, then gravity will get the water to flow back out of the trash can, out of the bucket, down the tubes, and into the air pump if this is lower than the bucket. So you always want it at a higher source. And just as an added safety feature, I have these little check valves. If you can look, it only allows the air to go one way, and if the water tries to backflow in through the tubes, then there's a little valve there that stops it, because you don't want water flowing back into your air pump, because water and electricity don't work very well. Usually it tends to blow these things up, and that gets expensive. So all I need is to add air, and I'll plug this in real quick and just demonstrate the bubbles. I don't know if you can hear it humming, but I'm going to put this a little higher, right over here, and I'll just put these in here, and I'll bring this over here, and hopefully you can see them bubbling. Hope you didn't get too dizzy doing that. And then all we do is we wait 2 to 4 hours, and after 2 to 4 hours we can do one or two things. We could have either taken a bag like this. These are paint strainer bags you can get at Home Depot. They got very small holes in them. They're 400 micron size holes. They allow the bacteria to flow through them, but at the same time they retain the worm castings or the compost that you place in them. But in this case, we didn't use a bag in that manner. What we did was I just took our ingredients and we threw them in the bucket below me. So in this case, now we got this black sludge, right? And so we have to strain it out. So you can get one of those 5-gallon painter strainer bags, and you can put it over the lid, over the top of this bucket, and then when you turn it out, it'll strain out all the solids, and it'll just let the fluids go through, and it'll let the bacteria go through into the other bucket, and then you can take that bucket and you can spread it out over your vegetation or your plants, and that way you'll get more diversity, but you won't get as much density as you would if we were brewing tea or brewing compost. So, and again, the difference is there in the brewing process. We're adding molasses. Here's a bottle of it, and it's real important to have unsulfured or unstrapped when you're using this. So that's all there is to making an extract, and now the next thing we're going to do is create a worm tea. And that's a bit of a different process, in that in the worm tea, yeah, I've got the little bubbles from the fish tank aquarium, but I have a much powerful air pump. I'll show you right here. This is a Eco Plus air pump. It's got an output of 1,000 gallons per hour, and it's basically 3.77 psi and 120 volts. And if you notice, I've got this spongy-like, it's not fiberglass, it's like plastic, but it's got air in it. It's just really spongy. And I bolted it to a board to absorb the vibration. And because these can be a little loud. They have a diaphragm in them, and it's better if you actually use them outdoors as opposed to indoors. So, I'm going to stop this video right now, and when I pick up, we're going to be showing you how to brew a compost tea.